Have you ever been in a situation where someone just kind of dumped all of their emotional garbage all over you and then they kind of took a deep breath and, well, they seem to feel better. Meanwhile, you're sitting there feeling like you've had someone's emotional garbage dumped all over you. You're sad, you're stressed, you might not even know exactly what's wrong. You just know you don't feel quite right and you can't seem to shake it off. Well, today at queenbeing.com, we're going to talk about exactly what you can do to shake off those negative feelings and to not let someone ruin your day when they dump their emotional garbage all over you. So let's get started. So whether you're dealing with someone who's just occasionally kind of putting you down and making you feel bad about yourself, or you're dealing with someone who is literally a toxic narcissist who is destroying your happiness most days, there are things you can do to shake off that feeling of dread and doom and overwhelm that comes with having someone do that to you. Sometimes these people are going to be really mean to you, and I mean really mean. The kind of mean that makes you want to go dig a hole in the backyard, climb in, and cover yourself up. Mean. You know what I'm talking about? This could be your partner, your parent, your friend, your coworker, your neighbor, your boss. It could be anybody. So what do I mean when I'm talking about someone dumping their emotional garbage on you? Well, what happens is a lot of times, especially when we're talking about toxic people, but even in the case of a non-toxic person who's otherwise perfectly fine, sometimes something will happen in public, say at work or even on the highway on the way home, and the person won't be able to express their frustrations or anger to whoever actually caused the problem for them. And so then they come home and they take it out on their family. That's not healthy, but probably everyone has done some level of this. But when we're talking about a narcissist or a toxic person in a relationship, we're talking about someone who is actively engaging in this practice, and it's just emotionally draining and exhausting for the person who's the dumpee. I'm not going to give you a bunch of examples of this for right now because what we're focusing on today is not the problem, but the solution. How do you shake off those horrible feelings that get stuck on you once the narcissist dumps their emotional garbage? But they feel better because they've gotten it out. And now you're sitting here with a heavy weight on your shoulders trying to figure out, what did I do wrong? First, let me tell you, you did nothing wrong. This is a common behavior even for people who aren't narcissists. But when you're dealing with someone who is toxic, they're not just going to release the energy toward you, they're going to release it at you. So whereas a non-toxic person might rage to you, I had this terrible day, all these things happened, it was, a toxic person will rage at you. They'll find something to pick on, and sometimes you'll know that it's coming because they'll walk in the house and the first thing they do is start finding things that are wrong in the house. Do you relate to that? So what do you do to get that energy off of you? How do you cleanse your energy field? Can you just pick it off? Can you blow it? Okay, I'm going to stop. So let's just get right into the solutions to this problem. First, you have to remember that the primary reason this person is doing this to you is because they are unhappy. They are miserable. They have pent up negative energy. Hold on. I know you probably think I'm like your best friend from college who said that, that girl didn't like you because she's just jealous of you. But hold on. The fact of the matter is that this is really the truth. And I'm not telling you this to make you feel sorry for that person. They don't deserve that. But what I am telling you is that understanding the motivation sometimes helps. So sometimes in a situation where, for example, someone comes home and they're raging about something, if they're raging at you, in some cases you can say, did you have a bad day today? Is there something you want to talk about? But you will know if this is appropriate based on the person that you're dealing with. And if it helps you feel any better, this person has to live with that feeling, with that self forever, and you can change. In some cases, these people can change. Like I said, there are some even healthy people who have come home and raged to their families or at their families for something that wasn't related to the family. But when a healthy person recognizes that they've done this, very often they will do something to fix it. They'll change their behavior, they'll apologize, and they'll show that they really are trying. And then other things you can do are to just make sure you're focused on self-care. Do the things that you need to do to feel good about yourself. So if self-care for you involves going to church on Sunday, get your butt to church. If for you it involves getting a mani and a pedi and a facial, you know what to do, right? If it's about going golfing on Sunday, go do that. Do whatever it is that is self-care for you. You don't have to do self-care my way or anybody else's way. Do it your way. Make sure you're giving yourself the nurturing that you need. That's going to be really important as you go forward. Along these same lines, you have to remember that you are responsible for the way that you feel. Now, hold on, don't click away just yet. What I mean is, yes, they are responsible for the hateful, horrible things they do and say, but you are responsible for how you choose to react to that. And for me, understanding what I was dealing with as far as this is a narcissist or this is a toxic person and this is gaslighting and that is deflection, whatever, being able to label behaviors and traits to me was very empowering. It helped me to understand that what they were doing was not necessarily just about me. It was about the way that they chose to react to or engage with their environment, which included me. You understand what I mean? If you can depersonalize it that way for yourself, it helps you to heal and move forward a little faster. Another thing you can do here is to do something nice for another person. So what I mean is, if you're feeling that horrible feeling of doom and dread and pain, the weight on your chest, however it manifests for you, if you're feeling that, then in order to distract yourself and pull yourself out of that energy, go do something nice for someone else. So think about it. Who in your life could use some help? If you have a neighbor who's a little older than you and maybe could use some help carrying in the groceries, go do that. Or if you have a sister who has a new baby and could really use some freaking sleep, go over and babysit for a couple hours or whatever. Find someone in your life who could use a hand and do something nice for someone. It feels good. It's good karma, if you believe in that sort of thing. And it helps you to pull away from feeling that sense of misery that the narcissist dumped on you. Helps to change your vibration. Along that same line, change your vibration. Go visit shine.buzz, which is my new project. I'll put the URL right here for you. See what you can see. There's lots of fun, vibration raising stuff on that site, and it's specifically for the purpose of helping you feel good. So go check that out. And then finally, I want you to think about taking those feelings and instead of swallowing them or pushing them out, I want you to get them out, right? And so I don't mean to rage on the narcissist or the other person involved or anyone. What I mean is process your feelings. Instead of pushing them forward to someone else like the narcissist did, end them with you. You know what I'm saying? Release them and, kind of work through them. One thing that has always been effective for me in that way is to journal, to write, to do any sort of creative anything, to be honest. Remember, too, that you can always say no. So if someone in your life is constantly dumping their negativity onto you, just ask them to stop. Remember that saying no is not rejecting the person. It's simply rejecting the negative energy and negative behavior. I think what I'm trying to get at here is that you've got to allow yourself to feel uncomfortable if you're going to make any change. It's not going to be easy to stop thinking about that person or to make the feelings go away. It's not going to be easy to change that situation. There will be discomfort, but it is when you go outside of that comfort zone that you find yourself actually growing and creating real change. So if you are stopping right now and if you're waiting for something to become comfortable or you are holding off until X, Y, and Z happens because you think it'll be easier for everyone, or you're just staying because you don't want to deal with the conflict, I just want to remind you that the conflict and the discomfort, it won't last as long as the rest of your life. And so you have a choice. You can stick with what you're going through just to avoid a month of discomfort or however long it takes you, or you can go through the discomfort and create the change and actually have a chance at being happy. Something to think about. Ultimately, I would advise you to do something that might sound ridiculous and almost impossible, but when you are able to get away finally from that person, there will come a time that you will need to release your attachment. And a lot of times that happens when you find yourself very angry. A lot of us go through that stage where we feel angry and we need to feel angry in order to propel forward and get away from a toxic person. But at some point the anger becomes toxic to us, and that is usually when we need to go through the process of releasing that person. And that word releasing is what I now say instead of the word forgiveness. I used to say forgiveness because in my mind it was forgiving that person, not to that person or or for that person. I would never tell the person I would forgive them, but in my heart I would forgive them because I needed to release the negative energy attached to it. And I would do that with myself and with my clients. I use a letter format for that. And if you're not familiar with that, take a look at this. So write a letter to the narcissist, say everything that's on your mind. Say all the things that you miss about them. Say all the things they did to hurt you. Say all the reasons you're angry. Say all the reasons you're in pain. And at the end of the letter, I want you to say, and now I'm forgiving you for myself, not for you, because I deserve to live without that toxic energy in my life. And I'm releasing you. Wrap it up. Don't actually send the letter. I didn't need to send the letter. Once I wrote the letter, it was enough for me. I found that when burning the letter, I felt much relief. Some people say that they throw it down the river. If you do that, make sure you use biodegradable paper. Some people like to bury it in the ground. So I don't really recommend that as much. Some people suggested that they tied it to a balloon and released it into the world. I don't care how you do it. Whatever you do, write the letter, get it out of your soul, and get rid of it. I find that to be very effective. And if you do so, handwrite it if you can. If you're not capable because you have carpal tunnel or whatever, fine, but if you can handwrite it. That'll be really helpful for you as you move forward. See, the thing is, I think a lot of people misunderstand what forgiveness means. It doesn't mean that what that person did is okay with you or that it's okay at all. It doesn't let them off the hook either. It's just for you. It's so that you can let go of whatever it is that is holding you back and move forward into your future unencumbered. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know. All I know is that for my own peace of mind, that was important for me, and I suspect it might be for you as well as you go forward in your recovery. But in the meantime, if you find yourself being attacked, being the victim of the emotional dumpster, please remember that you deserve to feel safe and loved and supported in your home, in your life. Try the tips I talked about today, and try Pattern Interrupt. Pattern Interrupt is a really effective way to change your mind. So I'm going to link to a video for you right here where I talk about Pattern Interrupt and exactly how to use it to your benefit in situations just like this. All right, that's all I've got for you. Have a lovely day. Thank you to my sponsors, my inner circle, for being there. And to everyone, thank you as always for being a part of my day and a part of my life. And hey, thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. I'll see you soon. Oh, hey, did you feel me on this? Well, if you did, make sure you take a minute to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll be notified each time I upload a new video or go live. I'll see you soon.